What's good, everybody? Ace of all trades here. Hope you guys having a great day so far. We are back for yet another Triple Threat Sport podcast. This time around it's episode 65. Sorry you guys for the hiatus. I was traveling a lot for work, so we couldn't get the crew together and everything like that, but we're back. Before we go ahead and start talking about all the crazy news, let's go ahead and introduce the co-host. First of all, Texas's very own Siggy Gun. Say what up.
What up?
All right, and lastly, shortly not least, and fresh off a Sekiro completed game, UTX, I beat my games, the Don. Say what up.
We back again. It felt like it's been a long time, but let's talk these sports, shall we?
Bet. So we're gonna go ahead and just continue to go on. So appreciate you guys for listening to us on episode 65. Shout out to all you guys on the YouTube comments, and shout out to all you guys listening to us on your available podcast platforms. Shout out to you guys for the continued support. So let's just go ahead and get into it. The NBA news has been crazy. I'm talking about from slander to retirement to Vince Carter being the only player currently right now that was playing in the 90s, being the only one now that Dirk and Dwyane have retired. So let's just get right into it. The one last dance. Dwyane Wade gone. He is done, y'all. It is over with. He has had his last game against the Brooklyn Nets, and the man ended up getting a triple double. Personally, let me just talk about D-Wade real quick. I liked D-Wade a lot when he was back in Marquette, but when him coming into the league, I think that D-Wade is overall a great and awesome person on and off the court. Definitely one of the greatest to do it. Definitely. I think that the way that he would play, and that's why I feel really, really bad, because his injuries held him back so much, but the guy played hard. He was hustled to the end of the whistle, diving for the ball, everything like that, which put him in the predicament for going through those surgeries with his knees in the cartridge. And back in the day when he was getting those surgeries when he was back in Marquette, they went in and they actually there wasn't no microscopic surgeries and nothing like that. Things were different back then. Technology and all that was different back then when it came to surgery. So I think that played a huge role. But honestly, he was one of my favorite players to watch. I think he got the respect that he deserves from everybody in the league. And hey man, shout out to the Flash. He had we gonna talk about it. D-Wade, shout out to you, man. You did a lot of tremendous things for the NBA. Nobody will ever forget what you have done. You're in this NBA lore. Your story is solidified for sure, and I'm looking forward to seeing what continued impact he continues to do with Wade County and even in Florida, and just in general in your future endeavors. So thank you, JG, man. What's up, man? What you think about the Flash's last going out? He hit a triple double. He unfortunately they didn't win the game, but what are your thoughts, man?
Wish I could have seen that game. I also wish that they would have made the playoffs. I know that I made some comments on Twitter that Steven got super mad at me about.
Steven wanted all the smoke.
Man, like your team couldn't do it, and you were very, 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 very injury prone with the entire team. But D-Wade had a hell of a career. I mean, his accomplishments, he won one with Shaq, and then you won some with LeBron. I mean, that's a hell of a thing to do. Making a legit friendship with LeBron. You're always in the conversation for the top 10 shooting guards of all time.
Mm-hmm.
You had some crazy last second shots. Like this man in his prime, he was definitely in his bag, and on top of that, like, he's always been a stand-up guy, a hell of a husband, a hell of a father. So he just always been a good guy. Like D-Wade, I know he's had like his little stuff with his baby mama, but I think that's probably like one of the only quote unquote like controversial or bad things that he's ever done. It's just a blemish on his overall career, but he's always been a really, really good dude. And while he wasn't ever really one of my favorite players, I definitely enjoyed watching him. And I think my favorite time to watch him was definitely when him, LeBron, and Chris Bosh teamed up in Miami. But but he's always been that good dude. So I mean, it's sad to see him go, but he definitely had a very, very interesting farewell tour this year. So sad that the Miami Heat will not be playing any more games since they did not make the playoffs this year. But a triple double is a hell of a way to go for your last regular season game. So shout out to you, D Wade, and you definitely going to the Hall of Fame, no doubt.
Oh yeah, and you know, I know the guys can't see this. I went off camera real quick. I had to switch up to, you know, the World Tour t-shirts that Bleacher Report was actually selling. I definitely had to get one. I had to cop one. Now I know it's pink, so you know, Nomad probably wouldn't have rocked it and everything like that. But the shirt is fire. You know, just to support D Wade and then, like everything that he's done, and like it's cool because like it has like the different like staples that like things that significant moments in his career happened on his back of the shirt and everything like that, which is really, really dope. And I think that collaboration with him and Bleacher Report, I think it was really, really, really cool. I'm sure Steven may have gotten one or something like that. You know, he loves D Wade. But Siggy, man, what are your thoughts about D Wade, man?
Yeah, I mean, he was whenever he was drafted. I remember that draft class. That was the LeBron, the Melo, and then he was there after Bosh, right? Was he 4 or was he 5? What was he? Oh no, he was before. That was done. I was thinking LeBron, the LeBron class with Melo and Bosh. But anyways, whenever it was LeBron, Bosh, and Wade, especially the team up, obviously the controversy about that was LeBron, but it was nobody ever trashed Dwyane Wade in that super team. It was all about LeBron bringing that thing to him. But no one talked trash about Dwyane Wade because he was the person that made it happen. You know what I mean? Like, he was the one that got unselfish to where he was willing to step out of the team to let them sign or whatever so that they can make this whole thing happen. He was unselfish. All the things you guys talked about, what made him great, you know, that to get that to happen was pretty significant too, because these are guys, Bosh was coming off of career years in Toronto. Obviously LeBron was the greatest player on the planet. You would think that they would all make the most money. He was willing to not take the most. And LeBron, I think the one that wanted making the most wanted being Bosh, right? He was the one that
It was Bosh, then LeBron, then D Wade. Yeah, I believe so.
That just shows, you know, what he was willing to do for his friends, you know, to get those rings, because that was the big deal back then was, hey, you know, if you want a ring, you got to go here, whatever. But Dwyane Wade was like, hey, look, I got a better idea. Let's just make this team right here in Miami. We got the space. I'll forfeit salary to get this happen. Let's make it work. And they did it.
Yeah.
And you know, even though that was, you know, there was a lot of stuff afterwards, like the whole pep rally, the not 1, not 2, not 3, and all that stuff. Again, that was all. Most of the hate was towards LeBron, not Dwyane Wade. But you know, living in Miami and stuff like that, it's gonna be weird knowing that after all these years, I think 16 years now, that he's not gonna be there. So it's just kind of like a shock because that he is the Miami Heat identity. Like, the only other player before that was Alonzo Mourning.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Absolutely.
Of, you know, maybe, you know, Haslam a little bit. You know, he was one of those guys too. That
Miami players, yeah, absolutely.
Miami loved. But yeah, Dwyane Wade is that guy. You know, I mean, Shaq went through there. He won a title there, and no one really associates Shaq with the Heat. You know, it's still a little about Dwyane Wade, and it's just going to be a shock. I can imagine what Steve's going through. I kind of feel like that on both ends because I'm living here in Texas, you know, in Fort Worth, near Dallas. So we have another guy that's also retiring at the same time. So it's kind of like a double whammy. Here's two.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Two great, amazing Hall of Fame players. Yep. Absolutely.
But yeah, great guy overall, great player. And obviously first Battle. I mean, there's no question.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
Not only because of the titles, but also because of his stats and stuff like that too.
I mean, of course, unless Paul Pierce has anything to do with the voting, of course.
Yeah, Paul Pierce, that whole situation of him saying it was better. I know what he wanted to say. It just didn't come out. It came off as like a selfish, like, oh man, why come if Twitter was around, everybody be talking about me? He had a lot of YouTube clips and stuff like that. The funny thing about Paul Pierce, the one thing I will always remember about him, has nothing to do with him winning his championship after he got.
It's the wheelchair, bro.
It was the wheelchair incident. I mean, that's forever going to be his legacy, and he's lucky Twitter wasn't around because if that happened during Twitter,
oh my god,
he would have got roasted so bad.
He still gets roasted for it.
But I mean, I'm just saying at that time, if it was real, I mean, that would have been butt fumble of what Mark Sanchez was at that time. In
Oh
my
yeah,
opinion.
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Sports Center would have had it as a top 10 fail or whatever, like for 2 years, like the butt fumble. I mean, that would have been just something. If it was Twitter around that time, that would have been even worse than what it was now. And we still talk about it today. So
Yeah.
Paul Pierce doesn't shut his mouth about that stuff.
Yo, everybody was going in. Like D Wade's son was on Instagram talking about it. I don't blame him. Of course, Gabrielle Union was gonna say something. Of course. And the thing is, though, it just made it so much worse for Paul Pierce. I think he wanted to say something different. He could have said, "I personally think that I'm better." And you know what? There's no one's ever gonna fault you for saying that you're better than somebody. Be having no self confidence. But the way he did it, I feel like was, you know, it wasn't a good way. I think he needed to word it correctly and everything like that. But let's be stat wise, really, Paul Pierce. Look, you the truth, but you looking shaky out here, bruh. Like, let's be for real. We look. I got the stats up right now. So if we're comparing right now, let's go NBA champ. Let's do NBA championships and seasons. So right now, D Wade had 3 championships. Paul Pierce 1. NBA seasons, Paul Pierce 19, D Wade 16. Playoffs played, Paul Pierce 14, D Wade 13. All-Star games, Paul Pierce 10, D Wade 13. Like, come on, bro. Finals MVP, y'all both got it. All-time NBA first team. Oh wait, Paul Pierce didn't have that. D Wade. All NBA teams. D Wade shines him 8-4. All defense. Wait. A goose egg for Paul Pierce. And scoring leader. Wait. Come on. Yo, the craziest stat that I saw today was the fact that if D Wade could come back for next season, play all 82 games, but not score a single point, he would still have a better scoring percentage than Paul Pierce, bro. Paul Pierce.
You know what? After you just said the 6th year, he was in the same draft as LeBron. He was 5th then.
Yeah, he was a 5th pick. It was
Anthony Bosch and then Wade, but it was Darko, the one that blew it all.
Yeah, that was the 2003 draft class.
Right.
That was, bro. That draft class, bro. That was an amazing draft class, bro. But D Wade, man, he did his damn thing, everything like that. Like I said before, Paul Pierce is out of his fucking mind if he thinks that if he's talking stats and everything like that. Like, come on, bruh. Come on, man. Really? This is what we doing, Paul Pierce? Really? Come on, man. And yo, he got destroyed on TV, bruh. Jalen Rose was like, he got this, he got that. Oh, you don't have this. And what are you gonna do on live television when you getting roasted and you can't say anything back? Like, come on, you gotta take it on the chin. But let's go ahead and move on, man. Dirk Nowitzki, another one. We're losing another great, and I know this hits hard for you, Siggy. Especially you being in Texas and everything like that. And the Dallas Mavericks, they love like this. They love this man, and I mean, obviously the brothers are always fuck with Dirk and everything like that. Love who you love, but he got him a Nubian queen and everything along those lines. So it's like, there's so many great things to say about Dirk Nowitzki, like being one of the best big guys to ever do it. Shooter, swish. He had an amazing run. He did well too. Like, if we really thinking about it, like you really look at it, he went 20, 10, and 1 on his closing performance. He did very well. Like, I mean, he's another first
a double with one leg. I mean, that's the one thing. If you watch the game this year, his foot is jacked.
No, bro. He's 5-10 years. First of all, being tall already makes it worse on your legs, but what he's gone through, bro, he's gonna end up being, unless science advances, he might end up needing a cane later on down in the road, because his leg is done. His body's done, bro. He couldn't do it anymore.
Here's the ironic thing: he was in the same draft class as Paul Pierce. That's what's funny.
Exactly.
He was ahead of Paul Pierce.
Yep. He was number 9.
You notice he didn't touch anything about him, because we already know that definitely Dirk Nowitzki is a way better player or at least better career than Paul Pierce for sure. Also,
I honestly would have picked Dirk Nowitzki over Paul Pierce, bro. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I'm gonna just keep it real.
Dirk is going down as at least top 3 power forwards.
Oh
in my
yeah,
opinion.
I agree. No, I agree. I think that he oh my God, right? His legacy, everything he's done, his jumper, everything he has, bro.
And he has the championship game against LeBron.
Yeah.
Like that's probably the hardest thing because he had
Exactly.
nobody. He was literally
He brought a team that didn't have
no super
anybody.
team. Yeah, exactly. I mean, these players, you can look at them now and say, oh, okay, yeah, they were decent. But at that time, there's no way anybody would say Jason Terry was a legit player, you know, something like that. So, I mean, he did it against LeBron and that super team, against Dwyane Wade. He beat the best, and I mean that's something that he needs to get credit for. And I know we talked in our basketball league, our fantasy league, you know, who's better, Dirk and Dwyane Wade. That was like a big topic throughout the season because, you know, we figured both of them are retiring this year. As far as overall career, you know, if you had to pick one, obviously I would say you probably pick Dwyane Wade because he has 3 championships.
Right.
And but Dirk, I mean, if you look at, you know, pound for pound of his position, what he's done, how he's changed the game, I mean, he really has, if you think about it, because traditionally a power forward was back then was like a Chris Webber, you know, a bruiser, you know, going in Larry Johnson, more post guys go in, you know, take the ball, rebound, that's about it. He was shooting threes. He was playing 4 and 5. He was somebody that was a mismatch all over the place. He would go up on top of the key where the point guards are. I mean, he's somebody that pretty much made the game faster if you think about it in the end.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And he was a big but played fast, like small. I mean, it was just, I mean, he's crazy. He was a generational player that nobody really thought would ever happen. I mean, this is a guy that was in the draft. He was, you know, picked out of Germany. I think the Bucks had him.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy how, you know, a Euro player came in and did what he's done. I mean,
he changed the game, bro. He changed the game.
Back then, it was like the only international player I could think of at that time. Back then was like Tony Kukoc was like the guy. Right now, this guy just blows everybody away. Or maybe the Dutch guy. What's the Dutch guy? JG that played for the Pacers. His name was Big Dutchman. Well, I forgot his name though.
I
Now
don't even remember, man.
Rick
Okay.
I forgot now. But anyways, yeah. I mean that. A Euro player, you know, normally you'd be like, oh, he's just a big guy, a big lug. You know, most of them are like that, but not. He was a beast, and he had a great career also. And Dirk, same thing. You know, like if we talked about Dwyane Wade, he was great with the community. He was a great player.
Bro, he was the face of the Mavericks, bro. Mark Cuban's gonna have a fit when he's not there no more, bro. Let's be real.
And he had the same kind of deals like Tim Duncan, where
he was a role player.
However many years you want to go, you know, we got you, no matter what. So
they were giving this man money. They were like, man, you took so many pay cuts throughout the years, and I'm gonna be real with you. Dirk Nowitzki deserved way much more money than he got paid, even though he took those pay cuts and everything like that. And that's actually something that we can group Dwyane Wade and also Dirk Nowitzki, is the fact that they understood their roles. And I also, when it comes to Dwyane Wade, I would like to say, you know, for like the season, like the LeBron James we know and, you know, love and some hate and everything like that, it was because Dwyane Wade helped out LeBron James just like LeBron James helped out Dwyane Wade. Dwyane Wade was like, bro, I know what role I need to play. You take this role, you do this, man, and we're gonna be great. We're gonna be awesome. And I think it really did improve LeBron James's game. And if you really think about it, you compare from where he came from with Cleveland, going over to Miami, and then Dwyane Wade saying, okay, I know my role. I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get my thing going and everything like that. How are we gonna do better as a team? Here, LeBron, you do this. Chris Bosh, you do this. All right, bet. Let's go. Ready, break. And he understood what was needed to win, and the fact that Dwyane Wade and Dirk Nowitzki were able to do that, to take those those cuts, and I still feel like Dirk needed way more than what he got. And you know, we gotta say, awesome guys, amazing on and off the court. They deserve it. They deserve all the love, the admiration, and everything like that. And I know that Dirk is going to get paid tenfold. Same with Dwyane Wade and everything like that. So salute to both of those guys and everything that they did for the NBA. And it's sad to see them go. And just another thing about Paul Pierce, just throwing it out there. If we're going to talk about regular season appearances for the closing performances, Nowitzki 20, 10, and 1. Dwyane Wade 25, 11, and 10. Oh, that's a triple double, by the way. Paul Pierce. And Paul Pierce, 2 minutes played, 0, 0, and 0. So yeah.
Wow, no love for Paul Pierce.
Oh no, I mean he did it to himself, bro. But
Yeah.
all right, so we've talked about the NBA and everything like that, but we gotta talk
I
about.
didn't even get to say nothing about Dirk.
Oh my bad, JG. Talk about your boy Dirk, man.
You was just talking a lot. Now go ahead. It's okay.
Do you? I'm not repeating myself. Go
for it, Jay.
Go ahead. Ace. Move on.
No.
Yes.
I will stop this podcast. Keep going.
Move on.
All right.
Stopping the podcast and move on, please.
Nope.
Go ahead, Jay.
I'm sticking to what I said. Go ahead, JG.
And I'm sticking to move on.
All right. See, when you got two stubborn people, and you know, I can realize my mistake, and this is why Triple Threat Sports Podcast is one of the dopest podcasts out there, because we're not yes men. We make mistakes and we can own up to it. And JG wants to be stubborn. All right, JG, we're gonna go ahead and talk about the NBA playoffs. Tell us about, now that everything is set forth, what do you think about the playoffs, the Western and the Eastern Conference? Go.
I want to say that the Eastern Conference is definitely one of the ended up having one of the craziest endings for what I could say. The Pistons were doing so good, but then again, they almost fumbled the bag. Again, when I already talked about the Miami Heat, when they had a chance, and then they kind of messed up as well. But there was a lot of injuries on there. Actually, there's a lot of injuries on the Pistons end too, but mainly just Blake Griffin. But the Miami Heat, they've been dealing with injuries for at least a few years, like some major injuries. But I think that they were the main ones that ended up making it close, because the Hornets actually had a chance to slip in after the Miami Heat officially got eliminated. But the Magic ended up going from it's funny because like in the first like 5 or 10 games, they were actually number 1 in the East overall. We all knew that wasn't going to happen, but
right.
It was just funny mentioning that. And now all of a sudden, you know, they end up being like 9th to 10th, and then they end up coming all the way back to overtake the Heat that were currently in the 8th spot like a week ago. And then they end up overtaking the Pistons because they suck so much, and now they're the 7th seed. So that was very interesting. I thought it was really going to be between the Magic and the Heat, but it ended up being between the Pistons, the Hornets, and the Heat for that last spot. So that was very interesting. But other than that, I mean, all the other spots were pretty much what we thought. The Bucks ended up having the best overall record. So I thought they were initially going to face the Magic, but now the Magic ended up sneaking into the 7th spot. So now they got the Raptors. And now the Bucks got the Pistons, and they ended up winning this last game tonight, ended up clinching that spot. So I think that as far as the East is concerned, the Bucks are going to just run through the Pistons, especially if Blake Griffin is not 100%. So I think that's my prediction. We're going to win that first round. Raptors versus Magic. I'm sorry. It's funny because I actually tried to go to one of these games, but as soon as they found out that the Magic were in the playoffs, they bought up all the tickets. So
man,
they sold in like 15 minutes, bro. Like it was ridiculous.
Shit.
I guess Orlando people are like very, very excited that the Magic.
Oh, they were waiting.
That's because that's all there is over there.
Yeah, exactly. That and like this
in soccer. Yeah, we just.
Oh yeah, that's true.
In soccer.
Yeah, that's true.
And then we did have an AAF team, which we'll talk about.
Oh man,
we did have them for a split second.
You had tickets to that too, probably, right?
I was trying to go to a game. It's a funny thing. I was actually trying to go to one.
Damn, they ain't letting you be great.
Magic. I think the Raptors are gonna run through the Magic.
You think?
I don't think it's gonna happen, man. Magic aren't gonna be able to make.
That's a sweep, bruh.
Now you got the Sixers versus the Nets. I think that the Nets were, besides the Magic, were probably the most surprising turnaround. Cause, hey man, D'Angelo, that man's good.
The Lakers making you look foolish.
Yeah,
no. We're bringing look here. No, hell no. I'm saying something because
because I was saying that before you were talking about it. I was like, why are you trading when you just got him as your second pick?
I think, but
you know
what?
First overall pick,
but I think the reason. All right, look. everyone keeps forgetting. I think the main reason why they let him go, I don't think
snitching thing.
It was a lot of the conversation, like a lot of the disconnect with the players and everything like that in the locker room. I think that played a huge role into it.
Joking,
I don't think bro. He ruined his relationship with Iggy Azalea, bro. I mean, even though even though like he probably dodged a bullet with that one, that something like that could play is a business. And I'm like I said before, I spoke about this on Twitter too. Was that I think that D'Angelo Russell is an amazing player, and seeing what he's doing in Brooklyn is a great thing. But at the same time, he needed to grow up. He's a kid, and what was happening and what he did with the Lakers and everything along those lines, he made a mistake. He really did. He made a mistake.
Who could you have had instead of Lonzo? Like if they decided to keep Russell, he's the point guard, and everything ended up being the same. Where like LeBron came over, Kuzma would have still been picked because of the whole Randall thing and all that stuff. Who was the guy they would have picked instead of Lonzo?
Oh, De'Aaron Fox.
So
I want to pick another point guard though, but that's who they were saying that like over Lonzo.
So I don't think
the fact though. That was after y'all.
Yeah, that was after.
That's true.
So y'all wouldn't have picked another point guard, but if it was still the same situation, obviously y'all should have picked De'Aaron Fox. Over Lonzo. Let's look at this draft though.
Let's look at it.
And see.
Because
obviously you got Markelle, Lonzo,
Markelle Fultz, man,
Tatum, Josh Jackson, De'Aaron Fox, Jonathan Isaac.
Mm-hmm.
You probably would have got Tatum then.
Now I'm thinking about that. Yeah, Tatum. Then that's a possibility. Yeah.
Then again, Boston kind of
got Tatum at the 2-3.
I could have saw that for Tatum.
Donovan Mitchell as well.
Oh, bro, that would have, man.
And again, nobody knew how Donovan Mitchell was gonna be. So
yeah, man.
Yeah, you might have gotten a shooting guard. You might have gotten a forward.
Lauri Markkanen.
Markkanen could have been in play.
Yeah.
But just the point.
Smith Jr., Zach Collins.
Ooh, that's true.
Monk,
it's just the thing is though, like I said before, it was the fact that D'Angelo was a kid. He made a stupid mistake, but that mistake cost him. I don't think it was because of his play. I don't think it was at all, because he was doing some great things there and he was getting real established. And if he would have had more time there, I still definitely think that he would have done the same thing. He would have done even greater things with the Lakers if we currently had the lineup we did with D'Angelo and then maybe some other different picks, because maybe we wouldn't have picked Lonzo and everything like that. But
I just think I said it even then. I was like, that seems like the biggest waste to get rid of Russell, because Russell did do good.
He was doing very well. He was growing into his own.
And then
I think that he didn't mesh well with Kobe, but then again, nobody did, because Kobe was just Kobe at that point. So he just needed to go, and when he finally did, I think that y'all could have legit rebuilt with D'Angelo.
Bro, but his childish decision made it not possible, bro. At the end of the day. I mean, do I think the Lakers organization wished that he was still there? Oh, absolutely. I'll be first and forehand and say that, I definitely do think that I wish he was there. But at the same time, though, I know for a fact that the Lakers didn't get rid of him because of performance issues. It was because of locker room issues.
Let's throw all the cards on the table now that we know what's going to happen, since this is another topic we're about to talk about. Did Magic Johnson drop the ball on that part?
Yeah.
With Ball and D'Angelo Russell?
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you think that showed his inexperience? Do you think he could have, put things aside and say, hey, look, this is how we're gonna do things going forward? Because I mean, it's kind of weird to say. It's kind of weird that you punish him by saying, hey, by the way, you're gonna be traded instead.
It was an experience, bro. He didn't know how to do it.
He fell for the LeVar trap, bro.
He definitely did, because he wasn't even in the
pressure
picture
to get his son, bro.
Yeah.
He legit bullied him to get his son.
Hey man, LeVar Ball proved to everybody about the Lakers organization, about the upper management, everything like that. Magic dropped the ball, bro. I'm actually really surprised that Magic pulled out like this, bro. Like the reason why LeBron James is a Laker, besides the fact that everything with his kids and everything, his family, is because of Magic. Now Maverick.
I mean, that is true. I mean, you got to take the good with the bad. I mean, because if it wasn't for Magic being there,
absolutely. Who knows?
He definitely
might have picked the Knicks like he said to.
Maybe, yo, bro. let's think about it. Let's look at it, because we talking about it and everything like that. The Lakers season is over. Everything along those lines. Lonzo's injury prone. As much as a great player as he is and what he's developing is, he still needs to get his scoring there, but he's injury prone. Kuzma is definitely by far the best of all of them, the young core and everything like that. You have the internal issues with LeBron trying to trade pretty much the entire team for Anthony Davis, which still wouldn't have put us in a better position. We would just have Anthony Davis. But that already is a rift in the locker room. And then a lot of the players during the exit interviews today were pretty much did a lot of the diplomatic thing, and didn't really say much about it and everything like that. I think maybe a couple players actually spoke how they truly felt, but that's the internal issue going on right now. Yeah, Lonzo is injury prone, and now of all things, Magic is gone. Now Magic said another also thing. His interviews was wild, bruh. He said, "Oh yeah, people were going through the hallway saying you next year." That man, and Meanworthy, I ain't gonna be here. Like, what? Like 2 years? I want to go back to having fun.
He wants to go back to tweeting.
What?
Tweet more.
So but I will say that he did stay true to his word. He did say and made it known if he was gonna leave because he didn't want to do it anymore, he couldn't handle it, he would just leave. But he even let Jeannie Buss know, bro. Like, and as a business,
man.
That's exactly what I'm going to say. That is as a businessman, and what the Laker organization and what the Buss family has done for you the entire time. Of course, I mean, obviously, is Magic Johnson. He did a lot for himself, but as a businessman, him knowing about business, why should social media and Jeannie Buss and that family in the organization be the first time they find out all this information is when it's in a press conference.
Press conference. Yeah, that was definitely
that's terrible.
It's
bro.
shocking. It's shocking that it's from him. You know what I mean? That's something that I can maybe even see Phil Jackson doing, just because.
Oh my god, Phil Jackson was fucking trending yesterday. Oh my god.
But I couldn't imagine that the Magic would be like that. Like it was a shock that he retired from this position or quit or whatever you want to call it. And then on top of that, it was shocking how he did it. You know, the way he did it. It's just, yeah, I'm shocked by it.
JG, man, what do you think of all this bullshit with the Laker organization? I know you want to make fun of us, and you have every right to, and it's like everything's tumbling down even more. Like, what? Oh my god, bro! What?
I think that we kind of got off the topic there, but I mean, we can talk about this, sure.
I mean, we can go back to the playoff picture in a minute, but Lakers ain't in it, so yeah, no. LA's team is the Clippers. All right, y'all got it. Alex, you got it. Your team is better than mine. I said it on the podcast.
It was very unexpected, I would say. I just think that Magic just couldn't handle it at the end of the day. With the Lakers having that sort of prestige when it comes to their organization, I just think that Magic just couldn't take it. Like, having LeBron there is a whole thing in itself. Like, even though LeBron is a stand-up guy, I just think that he doesn't really have that good aura around him when it comes to his teammates. I think that he only really meshes well with his teammates if they are legit his friends, aka a Dwyane Wade or a Chris Paul or a Carmelo. Like, I just think that he really meshes well with them. But for everybody else, all these young dudes, he's like, whatever. Like, I already won my championship. Obviously, I want to keep winning. And when we don't, I want to throw a fit, and I want to do what we need to do in order to try to get like what I want for the team. And again, I just think that was just way too much for Magic to handle. And with all the stuff that happened this year alone, like, we're not even gonna talk about the other years, but everything that happened with this year alone, he was just like forget it, I'm done. Like,
he just left. He dusted his hands.
Yeah, now I think that was just, I think that made everything more unprofessional than like his actual interview afterwards.
Oh my god, that interview was terrible.
Like, yeah, I'm just done. Like, damn, you didn't even tell Jeannie, bro. You didn't even tell her.
Her of all people,
like,
bro.
How do you just make that decision like that? Like, it's a really terrible blow for the Lakers organization. Y'all already getting made fun of because y'all aren't at the point where y'all were years ago.
Clearly,
the three-peats stuff. You know, having Phil Jackson, having Kobe and Shaq, having that good core around you, and You know, Lakers fans are just tired of it. Y'all are tired of being the laughing stock of the league. Y'all got LeBron.
We're the Clippers now.
Everybody was going, you know.
That's exactly what
saying, yeah. Now, you know, I think that really sucks more than anything is when the Clippers are still the best NBA team in LA. You know,
and they lost Paul, and they lost Blake Griffin, and they lost DeAndre Jordan, and they still good.
Yeah, still good. Like that really is a slap in the face, man. So
I
gotta get it together, man. Hopefully y'all can get it together sooner than later, because like I make fun of Lakers fans all the time. Like, I'm not necessarily a hater of the Lakers.
You're a Kobe hater.
Well,
yeah, your team name was the number one Laker hater.
I legit don't like Kobe. I mean, it is the one Laker hater. But,
hater.
But again, like this is a joke for the fans, because I know how the fans react. And you know, it's really not even funny anymore. Like, y'all been dealing with a lot. You know, LeVar was one thing, but when LeBron came through and all the stuff that happened this year, man, I legit feel sorry for y'all. I feel sorry for y'all, and I think that this really just put the nail in the coffin. It was already bad enough not making the playoffs when y'all, you know, officially got eliminated. But with Magic left, bro, y'all done, son. Y'all done. Just we just gonna hope that y'all can see greener pastures next season. Cause right now, boy, y'all are a mess. I know. Y'all are a mess. And I understand why y'all are upset.
Man, I don't know which worse, being a Los Angeles Chargers fan or being a Los Angeles Lakers fan, bro.
Now that the whole season's played out, because I remember you had your skepticism with LeBron,
I said that
getting in. You were like, I don't believe it, as far as, you know, them making the playoffs and all that stuff.
The first year, at least. I thought the second year would be all right, cool. After they've gotten acclimated with each other and everything like that, whoever trades and everything like that, Magic is here and everything like that. Nobody expects that.
Do you think the second year's gonna be even worse? I mean, it doesn't look like it's.
Like I said before, LeBron James in the locker room, we're gonna see a whole new team, bruh. I honestly believe that. Luke Walton, he's gone. Man, do you know the fact that they talking about Tyronn Lue coming back to coach the Lakers?
That's so bad too.
What? Yeah, LeBron move, bro. Like,
bro, what the hell? Like, oh my God, bro. Like, there's so many bad things. Like, we can spend an entire podcast on the Lakers organization and the lore the past 6 years of us not being in the playoffs and everything like that. We are the laughingstock of LA. It's the Staples Center was always a Laker thing. Now people are legit saying, "Oh, the Clippers play here. Where do the Lakers play at?" Like,
you need to put Harold's statue out there by Shaq now.
Right, like, that's wild, bro. Like, what the hell? I'm like, look, it's hard. It's tough seeing this, but at this point, oh my God, bro. The saga continues of being a Laker fan. The saga continues of the downward fall and the fall from grace from where we were. You know, of course, oh, well, is Kobe gonna go? No, hell no. Kobe's not coming back. He's not gonna. I definitely no. Kobe's not. No. Come back and be like some type more in a management role. Actually, I think that what Magic did has made it worse for more players of his stature to come back to the organizations because of how unprofessional he was. Honestly, like the Buss family, this is all bad. There is no positive spin to this. This man, Magic, made some good moves, made a lot of bad moves, and just said, "Oh, well, I want to have fun again, tweeting. Bye-bye. I'm done."
You know what that is? That's the heat that came with LeBron going there. I mean, that's the pressure. and not being able to. I mean, you know who was feeling that too at the time? Pat Riley. Remember? Yep. I mean, that dude. He used to have like that hair with the black with the gray, look all perfect. That shit turned just white after LeBron
looking like Pop, bro.
and then when he went back to Cleveland, you just saw it. I mean, Kevin Love looked like he aged 20 years just being there. I mean, that's the heat when it comes. That's the pressure of playing with the greatest basketball player of our time right now. So. Bro, I mean, if Magic felt that damn pressure, damn.
Bro, that's wild when you really, really, really think about it. But man, the saga continues, man. Let's get back into this playoffs, bro. So we haven't talked about the Western Conference at all. Siggy, man, tell us your thoughts.
Done with the Eastern Conference.
Oh, go ahead, JG. Go ahead, man. I mean, we ain't going to no playoff. We ain't going to no playoff game in the Magic. They sold out, but go ahead.
So.
I think that was next, right? The Sixers, Pacers.
Yeah.
No, the
or no, the
Sixers
Sixers
and Nets.
Boston.
Yeah, so we talked about D'Angelo being in his bag. I think that that's probably going to be one of the most interesting matchups, though. To be honest,
Oh
'Cause
yeah.
I think that the Nets, I think that they legit do have the potential to bring the 76ers to 7 games. I think that that's going to be one of my hot takes, if you want to call it that, for the Eastern Conference. I think that the Nets legit have a chance to beat the 76ers. I think that they might put them on edge on that one. If I'm wrong, but that's what I'm gonna say on that one. Celtics and Pacers. I mean,
I would think playoffs of the Sixers should.
Hey man, the Sixers got a team, bro.
Yeah,
I mean, they got a team, but I still think they're gonna choke. I think they're gonna choke, and maybe if it ain't the first round, it's gonna be the second.
Shit, if they go against Toronto, they get destroyed.
Go ahead, Pacers Celtics. What you think about that one?
Pacers Celtics. I mean, with these injuries for the Celtics, man, like, do they really have what it takes to come together as a team and actually like get this going? Because the Pacers aren't any slouches. I mean,
they've been balling, which is kind of crazy with that,
right?
But yeah, y'all are still doing pretty good. So again, like the Pacers or another team that you always have to watch out for in the East. So I said that might be another interesting one as well. I mean, on paper, you think that the Celtics should be able to win easily, but like y'all said, Celtics lost Marcus Smart, so
yeah, that's gonna hurt.
We don't know what's gonna happen now with that. Like
2 weeks.
Can Kyrie successfully, guide his team? What is Gordon Hayward gonna do? Is he gonna go back home and keep playing League of Legends, or is he gonna?
He's actually been balling this last few games.
Yeah, he had to. That's a funny thing.
Yeah,
he had to, because I mean, Jason Tatum had a little stint where he had injuries too.
Yep.
So I mean, Jason Tatum got to be healthy, and you got to get Jaylen Brown to step up. So and Gordon Hayward, he has to really fill in that role. So I don't know. That's what I think is gonna happen to East. I got Bucks, Raptors. I'm gonna say Nets, and then I'm still gonna say the Celtics.
Okay.
Those
okay.
are mine. So what you think, C?
I got Bucks. I got Raptors. I think the Sixers are gonna pull together in the playoffs. I can't say they're not.
Okay.
And even with Smart down, I think Rozier's still gonna be the guy that's that can be versatile in that kind of role, or you can maybe even have Kyrie playing 2 spots. I would say Boston or Indiana. Okay. Oh, Indiana's been balling though.
Yeah, they've done very well.
I do think a lot of these games are going to go 7. I think Milwaukee might be the only one. Maybe Toronto that's going to be 4 or 5.
Sorry,
Magic. The other ones are going to be 6, 7 games for sure.
Okay.
But yeah.
What you thinking, Ace?
Milwaukee over Detroit for sure. The Boston and Indiana Pacers games, it's hard, but I probably will give the edge to Boston still. But I will admit, I would not be surprised if Indiana ended up winning and going to the second round and the semifinals.
I still think they're gonna go too far with no Oladipo. That's my only issue.
But the fact that they've done though from that though, and they still did very well this season, man. Like when they get him back. Oh my God. Yeah. 76ers in Brooklyn. I think that this is going to be a series to watch. I can see this going to 7. But I am going to actually give the edge to the Nets. I think that the Nets will end up winning this one. I think they will.
Agree with me? Okay.
Yeah. I think that the Nets will end up winning this one. And then Toronto and Orlando, let me be real with y'all. Toronto's gonna sweep them. Sorry, the Magic. Enjoy your tickets and everything like that while you can. Y'all getting swept.
Right.
You're getting swept.
The Magic somehow, some way pull that off, boy. That'll be something to see.
Nah, man. Everybody gotta be frowning in the 6 if Toronto loses.
They're probably the hottest team in the East, and entering the playoffs.
Right. That will happen though, because Fournier crashed the whole season. Now, if Terrence Ross can go off, if Terrence Ross can continue to go off the bench, then it might end up being something. But I don't know.
It's gonna be Vooch.
Good though.
Yeah, and Gordon. I mean, they can expect. I mean, that's the Bucks' biggest weakness is down low. I mean, that's been their Achilles heel, right? If you can neutralize what you really can't neutralize, to be honest, but if you can somehow get their guards and to just not put up a whole bunch of points, then that's their weak spot. I think Vooch and Gordon can really do some damage, but at the same time, I mean, yeah, Milwaukee's just super fast, and their bench is just as good as the starting unit. So
You mean the Raptors are facing Raptors?
Oh, that's right. They're facing the Raptors. Why don't we just talk
Yeah,
about
because they got the 7
Yeah,
seed now.
yeah, that's right. That's right. My bad. No, the Raptors are no.
They're destroying them, bro. Yeah,
The Raptors are destroying them. I mean, hell,
Right.
they got Marcus Cole as the backup, right?
right. So
Yeah,
that's
it's not gonna be good.
Yeah, that's not right. Yeah.
right,
So let's talk about the West.
bro.
So,
My God. Let's,
Come on, we got this Warriors Clippers. Remember these rivalries?
Yeah.
I think the Warriors and Clippers, boy, they should be something to see a few years ago. I mean,
Now it's
actually,
nothing.
not a few years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, before the Warriors became a super team and started winning everything.
Right.
But I'm not even going to play around with that Warriors
Obviously.
4 or 5, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
obviously.
that's just some bull. So I don't care about that. Nuggets and Spurs, man, Spurs still aren't the same team that they used to be. I actually think that the Nuggets have been quietly one of the best teams in the West and overall. So like with that being said, man, I think the Nuggets are going to take that one against Spurs. Trailblazers and Thunder. Man, this is always a hard one. I cannot bank on the Trailblazers. I want to because I really like CJ McCollum and Dame, but they lost Nurkic. I know that they do have Enes Kanter, but
is that who the Rockets play?
The Rockets
They're playing the Jazz. Yeah, it changed it up, Siggy. It updated. I know you were looking at too on the stats.nba. It changed it up.
These last second wins and losses.
Yeah.
Up a little bit. So yeah, the Trailblazers got the Thunder now. Man, Mr. Triple Double over on the Thunder side. You still got Paul George. I mean,
I think they do it, bro.
I'm gonna have to go with the Thunder, edging that one out over the Trailblazers.
Yeah.
You think it's because of the injury? If Nurkic was still there, you think that would have been?
I think if Nurkic was still there, they would have had a legit chance to at least push it like 6-7 games. But I don't believe in the Trailblazers getting past that first round.
My biggest fear about the Thunder is they always seem to just choke in the playoffs.
Shit. So does Portland.
That's true, but I mean, you got a Paul George who's been in his bag all year. Now I know that the second half of the year he hasn't been as lethal as he was during their first half, but I still think that Paul George has it in him to get that dub in the first round.
Man,
so I got Thunder on that one, and then finally Rockets and Jazz. I'm not gonna go against Harden. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not going against Harden.
Yeah, they've been probably the hottest team in the West aside from
the Rockets have been surging. So I don't have the Jazz getting past that first round. So
right. What you
think?
They might have done that on purpose. The Rockets losing just so they could play the Jazz.
Nah, because you saw it at first. It was the Rockets. It was Rockets and OKC at first. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, that would have been
a
game. That would have been a really good matchup. The funny thing about the Western playoffs, man, is I could see teams from the bottom actually winning. So like you said, the Thunder. They could beat Portland. It might be 6-7 games, but they can do it. I can see the Spurs beating Denver. Like I just can't count out, the coach. I mean, it's one of those. He's somebody that can make a game plan to, neutralize that team. But yeah, obviously Golden State's gonna win. Denver, I think they'll pull it off. I have to agree with you. I think Oklahoma's gonna pull it off against Portland, and I think Houston destroys Utah.
Oh man, that's wild. Let's just obviously Golden State. The Rockets and the Jazz. I think the Rockets are gonna edge this one out. Portland and OKC, definitely two dope teams, but I feel like Portland just cannot get it. It chokes too much. More than OKC, in my opinion. OKC is gonna end up getting it, and boy, I don't want to ever go against Pop. But I think that in this situation, I think it's the end of a dynasty. I think it's the end, and I think that Denver will probably edge this one out, maybe 6 or 7 games. So yeah,
I mean, these are all teams that were real close to each other.
Yeah, of course, absolutely.
So
yeah,
the
West was kind of like silly, like the whole.
Yeah, where he was, we at one point we were in the playoff picture, and then we not.
At one point you were the 4th seed, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Until LeBron got injured, didn't you see what happened after that?
All that growing, bro. Then it's a wrap.
Looking at the standings, wasn't Minnesota up there at one point too? Wasn't Sacramento up there?
Sacramento was.
Was yes.
Only team that really wasn't like that.
But
I think Memphis even had a run there where they were
I mean,
doing
the Clippers were number one at one point. Y'all forget? Like,
Yeah.
they were number one
Yeah,
in the West.
they were number
They went from 1
one.
to 8, but they still made it.
They held
The
on.
Spurs weren't in the playoffs for a second.
Yeah, they
made it
weren't.
back
The
in.
Thunder weren't in it for a bit. And Houston, remember everybody was freaking out that Houston wasn't in. They were like the 9 or 10 seed at one point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they made it back to number 3 now. So
No, number 4.
yeah, number 4. Sorry.
Yeah, but
I think the one thing about Houston, though, this is the reason why I say that they're gonna destroy Utah. They're finally healthy, like everybody.
yeah.
They finally got all their pieces back. I mean, it seems like that team hasn't had everybody like the whole season, and now they finally do.
That's true. But it's definitely gonna be a great playoffs. I'm looking forward to them, regardless if my team is in it or not. It's always intense, so I'm looking forward to seeing who's gonna be in the finals. I honestly still think that the Golden State Warriors will be in the finals for the West Eastern Conference. I'm not exactly sure yet. But moving on, we don't need to go ahead and go back to the Magic and Lakers. And I mean, I wanted to talk about Lonzo, but to be honest with you, he's injury prone, but he's going through a whole new revamp. No more with the BBB. He's suing the co-founder of BBB because he took like 1.5 million from the company, everything along those lines. He's going through under new management, might strike a deal with some major company, and we'll see later on if he'll be a Laker and everything like that. So let's just go ahead and move on. During the time of the recording and since we haven't been able to cover it, the March Madness NCAA championships happened. No, Zion is not a champion right now, but you never know, he could be a champion in the NBA with the Knicks. But we'll see when the NBA draft happens. But we got for the women's side, Baylor. Did anybody see that coming, by the way, with Baylor women at all?
I mean,
yeah.
Enough attention, I guess.
I was following it this year. UConn was not going to pull it out. They were like a 2 seed this time. They weren't even a number 1 seed. That's how far they fell apart. They made it all the way to Final Four though. But yeah, it was always in between. It was like Notre Dame, Baylor, UConn, and who's the other one that's always there with them? I forgot now.
It's always Baylor, what is it? UConn. They're always there. UConn is always there. Notre Dame is always there.
It all depends. It could be like Stanford or Louisville.
Maybe it was
Mississippi State. Because Mississippi State won it last year.
Yeah, exactly. So
they got knocked out. So
hey, man.
I know they had a good team this year, Baylor.
Oh yeah, they did absolutely. I stick with what I say. NCAA women's basketball is still more interesting to me than the WNBA, just hands down.
Oh no, yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
I think
agreed.
so. I could, but then again, it's been longer too. I mean, that's
yeah.
You're seeing all the
WNBA has been around as long.
Yeah,
very true.
I just, now that you talk about the WNBA, I just don't know what they could do to make it more marketable. You can tell they try. I mean, they try to get all the NBA players to hype it up and stuff like that. I don't know if it's the summer, like people aren't really interested in.
It's the schedule, bro. It's the schedule. I really think it's the schedule, bro. I really think
everybody's
so.
in baseball mode at that point. You know what I mean? Nobody's really saying, "Hey, let's go to WNBA." Everybody wants to be outside. Everybody wants to go eat hot dogs.
It's the schedule, bro. It's the schedule.
But you're not gonna put it during the season either. I mean, you're not gonna put it during the NCAA either. I mean, you're kind of forced to do that.
It's almost like they're fucked. Unfortunately, literally, it's not fair. It's really not fair because you have a lot of amazing athletes. Like, it's not a fact of even them being women. It's amazing athletes because a lot of these dudes that be go back to the kitchen type comments and everything like that on social media will get balled up by every single one of these females. Like, let's be honest. Let's be real. But and also for the NCAA championship, we have to talk about the men's and close games. But Virginia ended up edging it out over Texas Tech, bro. Yo, Siggy, man.
It hurts.
Yeah, I bet. But it was a great game though. Regardless, it was a great game.
They were up 3 with 12 seconds left. That's all we're ever gonna talk about.
And they ended up losing 85-77.
Well, Virginia's defense was actually really good, so I was surprised that Tech was able to even get the lead on them. And because they started off cold, Virginia was flexing their defense in the start, and then they definitely flexed it in the start of that overtime.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And that was it right there. As soon as they went up with like a 10-0 run, like right away in overtime, I was like, yep, it's done. That's it.
Yeah, bro. Any thoughts, JG?
I mean, I wasn't even expecting these two teams to even make it to the finals. I think that was one of the more surprising things. A lot of people had Michigan State,
Duke
making it to the finals, and obviously Duke. But it was interesting seeing Virginia and Texas Tech. Like, I always like seeing teams that you don't normally see in the finals there.
Mm-hmm.
So that was cool. And then I mean, it was funny because I seen Adam Schefter tweeting. Anytime we tweet about basketball, he gets roasted. But,
he gets destroyed, bruh.
But he was saying that it was on pace to be like one of the lowest scoring NCAA finals games at the beginning, because it was a really, really like crazy defensive battle in like the first maybe 10 minutes of the first half. But then like they started turning up after that. But I was thinking that Texas Tech definitely had a chance, and again, just one or two plays ended up blowing it all for them, and then it ended up going to OT, and Virginia just came away with it. So shout out to Virginia, man. I don't like the couch burning afterwards.
Yo, that shit is wild, bruh.
But this is what Virginia does, and then there was some
that tweet.
Yeah, there were some jokes that weren't taken as well because people didn't understand. I understood that. I laughed at it because
I laughed at it.
I laughed at it. I'm not even gonna. I'm gonna be real with you. I laughed at it.
I was like, man, I thought that shit was funny.
But they had the white guys with the tiki torches in Charlottesville, and they were saying that that's how they celebrated after the win, and people didn't take that too kindly. But
not at all.
But that was still burning shit in Virginia, so I guess it was still kind of fitty. But shout out to them. Isn't that is that their first NCAA?
Yeah.
Didn't they? It was a redemption, right? Didn't they get destroyed last year?
It was redemption.
Oh, yeah, they got I think they what was it, like first or second round? I think. I know they got destroyed. I know they got destroyed early. Is whatever happened, but yeah, man, I think that it was
because they were the number one overall last year too. I think.
And they're always up there. They have a really good basketball program, but they never end up making it to the ship. But now they did, and they won it all. So that was good, man. That was good. I think a lot of people obviously want to see Duke get there, but we all knew it was only a matter of time with them. It was definitely only a matter of time.
It was just, which was ironic because it was just like Virginia. I think this is one of the first championship teams that won like. They were like Duke would have been the same thing where they only winning by 1 or 2 points every match. Whatever.
Yeah, I'm like, how does that happen? It was crazy how like it was literally just one shot that would have determined whether you would have won or tied with the other team. So that was just crazy, but it was just really the hype over Zion that a lot of people wanted Duke to make it to the end, but that didn't happen, and instead we got Virginia versus Texas Tech. And I think more people were more surprised that Texas Tech ended up making it all the way to Virginia, because we knew Virginia had potential, but it was just that they always end up getting screwed over when it comes to the final. So, but it was good though. I think that it was a very entertaining matchup, and I don't think that anyone was disappointed overall at the end that how it turned out. So
OT, bro.
It was good. It's very entertaining March Madness, I would say.
Oh yeah, absolutely, bro. So many close games and everything like that. March Madness, and that's why a lot of people continue to talk about.
Speaking of that, I'm pretty sure in Vegas they talked about that guy that could have. Was Vegas that offered to pay half or something like that? He turned it down.
It was some ridiculous amount and everything like that because he had the I forgot how much he was gonna
Texas Tech winning for $305,000 if they win. So, but this was a rare thing that I heard. That I actually heard that they were actually willing to like deal or no deal. Like the banker called them and basically offered like a 115 or something like that, almost 150 to turn it in for half, and he turned it down. Yeah, because he said he already had action on Virginia anyways. But obviously, it's not going to be 305,000. I would have taken the money and hoped that Virginia wins so you could get more money.
Yeah, it was 300,000. For the national championship, bro. He just dropped it, and bro, that was wild. He was no. Actually, my bad. There was one other person back in the day that did a $1,500 bet on Texas Tech when Texas Tech was the odds was 201. 201. He was set to make $300,000, bro. Like, that's wild, bruh. wild when you really think about it. Like that's ridiculous, man. That's what I'm saying when it comes to, and bruh, that's man, ridiculous. Vegas is definitely talking about that. Exciting championships, March Madness, everything like that. That's why a lot of people continue to talk about student athletes getting paid, because when you really think about March Madness being marketable, you know how much money these organizations, the NCAA, the individual teams that are in the schools that are a part of the March Madness, and even the NIT, how much money they make. They make so much money, it's ridiculous, bruh. It was ridiculous.
Prop Swap offered him $125,000 for that ticket.
Oh, I would have took it.
And he turned it down.
I would have took it. I'm gonna be real with you.
Of course, I would have taken it. I don't know why he didn't.
That's guaranteed money.
Exactly. It's almost half. I mean, what can you want?
I mean, they were gonna tax the hell out of him, but it was guaranteed money.
Man,
JG, where you took it?
And Dez also offered him money too.
Yeah, he offered him $50K.
Was that what it was?
Yeah, it was $50K.
I would take either one of them.
Yeah, he offered him $50K. So yeah, man, that's wild. Shout out to the NCAA though, like when it comes to men's championships and everything like that. We don't have to really go into it, but baseball started, y'all. If your favorite teams out there, shout out to the MLB, MLB the Show, always a dope game too. By the way, pick it up. Football. Let's talk about some football, baby. Let's talk about the XFL. I mean the XFL. F, bruh. Not even a whole season, and they're done. Johnny Manziel, done. He's done. He told people on Twitter, hey, if this is the last time you get your contracts, your paperwork, your money, keep it, because probably the last check you get. You're done. So, JG, man, what's up with Orlando? What's up with the AAF, man? You were supposed to go to a game.
Orlando, they were said to be the best team, man.
They were the number one, bruh.
You were the championship.
That was crazy, man. I actually wanted to go to a game. Like, as soon as we moved here, I was like, you know what? Like, how much were the AAF tickets? I actually want to go.
How much were they? Did you look it up?
I ain't even look it up.
I'm sure they weren't that expensive. They couldn't have been.
They had to be like, $20 or something.
Yeah.
Probably not even that. But it was just crazy that, like, all of a sudden, they didn't even get to finish the whole regular season. They had 2 more games left. 2 more games before they went to the playoffs, and all of a sudden it was just, they were no more. I saw that come across my feed. I was like, what happened? It was legitimately what they were saying after the first 2 games of the AAF season. They just didn't have enough back, and they ran out of money.
That's unfortunate.
It's as simple as that. Like, they ran out of money. I think it's crazy though, because it came out of nowhere. I don't think that anybody besides obviously the people that were planning the AAF knew about it, and all of a sudden it came through. And surprisingly, I thought that it was actually very exciting when I was seeing like some of the familiar faces that were either previously with the NFL, or they were like on a practice squad that didn't actually like make a full 52-man roster in the NFL. And I was like, yo, like this could legit be like the G League of the NFL, because the NFL doesn't have anything like that. It's just practice squads, and like it was actually like kind of exciting. Like we actually seen some like sort of big name people there, and I'm like, oh yeah, like this is I could actually watch this during the off season for the NFL. And all of a sudden, like they just ran out of money. You couldn't pay the players anymore. And now you have these lawsuits that are coming along.
Oh man, there's a lot of legal trouble.
Misled and defrauded the players. Yeah, so it's getting worse. I don't think that the situation will
it's a fire festival
better, man. Yeah.
Oh no,
fire festival.
That's what the A Fire Festival.
But yeah, I mean, it sucks, man. It sucks that you try to start something like this, and then you're not being 100% transparent with the players and the coaches and everybody else involved, and you just run out of money. You get through the money as as quickly as you got it. So I guess we'll see what happens with the XFL, because we know Vince McMahon got money. So
hell yeah, he do.
Hold up. And also the AAF players, they can officially sign with the NFL. So like I said, I thought that the AAF, the way that it was designed, it was just like, oh well, let's see how good I can do if I was previously with the NFL, or if I was on the practice squad, that I could show that I can actually play, and you could sign me. And like I forgot what team it was, and I don't know if it was if I don't think it was the Raiders, but it might have been one of the teams actually just like scooped up a whole AAF team pretty much, and took their players. I was like, well, that's interesting, and some other NFL teams have already reached out and signed some AAF players, so that's good for them. But hopefully they figure all this stuff out and can actually pay the people that you haven't been paying the checks to, because that shit sucks. But yeah, we'll see what happens with the XFL when that comes around, because we know we got money behind that. But if it can be like anything as at what the AAF had, so I thought that they had like a decent foundation, or at least what I thought they had a decent foundation before I found this out. If they can be halfway what that was as far as like, I guess, presentation, then I think that the XFL will do fine, and maybe like the NFL, because they were seeming like to embrace the AAF, and they were having them on NFL Network too, and I found that interesting. I'm like, I was thinking like, wasn't this a competition? But I guess they didn't really see it like that. Maybe the NFL can actually like have a legit G League or a D2 for the NFL. Maybe you can establish something like that in the future, and then maybe this whole situation when it comes to the NBA in the G League, maybe that can also be a situation with the NFL and their G League counterparts to college and NCAA, and further put pressure on them.
I can tell you why they won't do it.
Why?
Because you just saw what happened with the AAF money. If the NFL has to put money, these players are going to be making more, because the NFL Players Association will be like, hey, I don't care if they're on the practice squad or whatnot. They're NFL, sanctioned players now, so we want minimums here and stuff like that. By the time the NFL's gonna be like, well, why would we want to spend this much money when we don't have to do it?
Right. I agree. That's some really good points. So it's unfortunate to happen, absolutely. But we'll see what develops after this. Yeah, Vince McMahon and the XFL. Vince McMahon got money, and I
think to answer with the letting him be in the NFL Network and all that, I think maybe they were looking at it to see if it could succeed.
Yeah.
What it would take, how much it could, operating costs and all that stuff, overhead, and
it didn't, so
etc. And it didn't. So it's kind of like, okay, well, you guys were the guinea pigs of what we figured would happen, but yeah, that might be a headache.
Mm-hmm.
And XFL, I mean, Vince already failed at this, so it's gonna be the same thing. Maybe one season the most. I guess.
How many seasons did the XFL do? Did they do one season?
It was just one. It was just one.
Really?
Tommy Maddox.
That's right.
Won the LA. It was the LA, whatever they were called.
That's true. So let's talk about some more drama, bruh. AB, man, Antonio Brown, bruh, going on Juju on Twitter, throwing subtle shade, and then it was just like, yo, you just going in, bruh. Like, yo, what were your thoughts about AB, man? I'll go with you first, Siggy. Yo, what are your thoughts, bruh? Showing the DMs between them when he was a USC up and coming. He was getting ready to go to the league. He was asking questions, and then AB decided to put the DMs out, but made him look like a fool. Like, what are your thoughts, man?
The one in particular I thought that really got me mad about him was him going after Juju for no reason. I mean,
yeah.
And this was something that we discussed in the middle of the season. It was split, particularly the game where he had 18 or 17 passes thrown his way, and he seemed like he was mad that Juju got that touchdown. Remember how it looked like everybody was celebrating with him? He was, pouting on the sidelines.
Right.
That game right there, when I saw that, I was like, it seems like this dude is jealous of Juju. And maybe the whole Fortnite thing and all made it even worse. I don't know. Him playing with Drake. But it's now that it's come out to where he pretty much attacked him, it's now official that he is either jealous of Juju or that he just does not like that he needed to share the spotlight with him. And even though he's not even in the same team anymore, he still wants to talk about it. It's like,
it's corny.
It is. I never would have thought, I never saw AB like that. Like, I could see Odell Beckham doing something like this. I could have seen
absolutely.
If he was still in the league doing something like this. I could see Ocho Cinco if he was still playing doing something like this.
Absolutely. I can even see T.O. would have thought that too.
T.O., yeah,
definitely.
I never would have thought that Antonio Brown would have been that guy. You know what I mean? Like there was cracks that we thought maybe even Julio Jones might turn into something like that, but then he got his money. Now he's happy, or he's about to, whatever.
Yeah, he's definitely about to get paid.
It wound up being Antonio Brown. Like I never would have thought that. I mean, he seemed like what Juju is now, like a fun, always smiling, enjoying it, humble. And now all that is out the window. Now I'm looking at him like
his true colors are shown, bro. His true colors are shown.
It's like, holy cow! It's like I never would have thought that just from 2 years ago. It's crazy how it happened. That Le'Veon Bell, I could see it happening.
Yeah,
and I never would have thought it would be. And it was a complete opposite. You had Bell. I mean, Bell do like this. I don't know if he was taking a shot at Antonio Brown doing it, but he wound up showing a DM between him and Connor. And they want to bring a whole nice thing, like, hey, I love you, bro. I appreciate everything you've done for me. And he was like, oh, this is what makes the NFL, harder, whatever. Le'Veon said, it was a complete opposite of what Antonio Brown did, and I was shocked.
Clearly,
that Bell wanted to handle the situation 100 times better, knowing that he had a whole bunch of baggage than Brown. I'm shocked. I'm just shocked by it because I never would have thought it would be from him.
Bro, if AB don't ball out next year, bro, he's already getting destroyed as it is. But if he does not ball out, my God. JG, man, what are your thoughts, bro?
Yeah, AB's being a crybaby. He's been a real big crybaby about it. Like, why do you even what your Steelers, former Steelers teammates voted? You're not there anymore, so why would they even vote you to be the most valuable player on their team? Like, it's really a
hater, bro. He's a hater.
Why do you care? Like, okay, if they did vote you, now what? You're not playing for them anymore. You cried your way off the team, so you need to worry about the Raiders in Oakland, and will soon to be Las Vegas. You need to worry about that team. I just don't know how this man transformed into, a sleeper pick. They ended up being super dope for the Steelers to this, this diva that, can't nobody seem to control now. Like it's really gotten to that point, and like I said, like AB and Juju could have been like one of the craziest, receiver duos on the planet, but you really are getting upset at him, and I've said this before on previous podcasts, and it really came up to this is exactly what happened. Like that man was legit upset that Juju, sometimes had better games than him, and that's ridiculous. Like you cannot be the only one catching everything and scoring all the touchdowns. You're not going to win like that. Like the whole point of the team, and you're trying to get doubled and whatnot. Juju being that standout player that he ended up becoming, that allowed you to not get double teamed every single time, so that you can actually get open. You can catch.
You get 18 passes in there.
Right.
I can still cry when you get that type of volume. Like it's just ridiculous. Like that whole Steelers situation just ended up becoming so much worse because of Le'Veon and AB, and I honestly think at this point AB was worse, and that's up to me to say, because I thought that Le'Veon was really a cancer, but Le'Veon just wanted his money. I didn't really think that he was a bad teammate, but I think that legit Antonio Brown was being a bad teammate, and getting all that money ended up turning him into a monster. And that's the Raiders' problem now. So we're gonna see how it is. Jack Del Rio already said that AB's gonna be a pain in the ass.
Yep.
He ain't even with them no more. He can already see it. So good luck, Gruden. We'll see what happens. Raider Nation, baby.
So Ace, I gotta ask you, because you said a couple of podcasts ago, that whenever he blamed Ben, that you actually sided with AB and said, yeah, I think Ben might have been the problem. Do you still think that now?
Man, I mean, look, let's be real. Ben Roethlisberger has had a lot of shit to go on with him, and yes, I think that Antonio Brown is a dickhead, but I think it's on both sides, because I think that AB has shown his true colors. But man, as much as I want to say yeah, I still think Ben Roethlisberger had a lot of problems, bruh. I still think so. I really do think so.
Look, if I'm Ben and I'm still throwing you the ball a whole bunch of times, and yeah, maybe it's overthrown here, there, but like JG said, he's still getting the ball. How can you beat? Like, what can Ben do to get you mad? If you're Antonio Brown, if it's Juju that's open that gets the touchdowns, that means it's still Antonio Brown's fault. It's not like Ben's gonna go up to AB and be like, "Look, I had to throw to Juju. How dare you not be open so I could throw to you?" You know what I mean? So it's obviously Antonio Brown had to go to him saying, "Why are you throwing to Juju? Throw to me." So
jealousy at its finest.
It's going back to Antonio Brown that even started that riff with
that's so wild, bro. Like, why? Like, you're not even on the team anymore, bro. Worry about your off season. Worry about your training. Enjoy the fact that you're on the West Coast now. Get ready. Yeah, you get your money and everything like that. Get ready to be in Vegas. Like, you're about to be there next year. Like, come on, bro. Like, what are you doing? It's just childish. It makes a poor representation of him off the field, and it really makes people reconsider to be like you said, like the question you posed to me, was it really Ben or was it AB? Because all this shit that he's doing on social media with Juju, it's stupid. And he needs to
it's petty. I mean, you don't have to open the wounds that he dropped that ball, whatever it was.
Nah, bro. Your characters, bro. You wrong for that. But anyway, let's go on from that, because that whole situation is stupid. Aaron Rodgers, Packers drama, everything like that. From what I'm seeing, like former players speak about how they felt about working with Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers just saying like, okay, like what's the point in talking about it now? You guys have distanced yourself. We're trying to focus on what's going on. So all you cheesehead fans, deal with that drama, whatever. But Gronk is gone, y'all. He is gone. But Tom Brady ain't, man. Fuck. Tom Brady ain't there.
He had the April Fool's joke though.
You mean that lame ass April Fool's joke?
Oh my god, corny, bro.
He's been on Twitter a lot lately too.
Tom Brady, bro.
Corny, bro. I'm tired of this.
Tom Brady at his finest, bro. That is.
Should I hop on a remix for Old Time Bro with Lil Nas? No, don't,
bro. At this point, he has 6 championships, bro. Well, no. Why did I say 6? Yeah,
What? Honestly, the way, because he's never been like this too.
Bro, he's getting ready to. He's getting ready. No, he's getting ready.
I think he really is getting retired. I think this is last year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's getting ready because this is what he wants to do now. He's a dad. He obviously been a dad for a very long time. He's a husband, everything like that. Now he's been so focused on everything else. This is his opportunity to let loose and just be corny ass Tom.
He's been a robot for years, and all of a sudden he's trying to make jokes.
I mean, he's gonna go down as a great. As much as we call him a bitch all the time, he's going to go down as the greatest quarterback of all time, bro. He is finally ready to loosen up and be even more cornier than before, bro. Get ready for Twitter fingers, Tom, bro. Get ready.
It makes it worse, bro. That we had that terrible performance in the Super Bowl. He got another ring, and he just continues to be corny.
And he beat your team.
All those rings, bro.
That's what started it too. Was during the playoff run. Like, he was, that they were the underdogs. He's like, okay, we're the underdogs. All right.
Damn, bro.
I do think I think you're right, Ace. I think he might be this last year.
Yeah.
I think he's sending us a signal. Like,
absolutely.
Because he never was like this.
He's never like this. Maybe he was like this internally, like some of his close teammates, his friends, his family, and everything like that.
Yeah, maybe Gronk knew this.
Yeah. But this time, bro, oh my God, he's talking about getting on the Old Town Road remix. What?
I'm like, Jesus Christ, man. Can the dude just go away? Go away.
Bro, you're always gonna see his face, bro. He may be an analyst next, bro. Let's be real.
But you know the funny thing, going back to Gronk, this dude said, man, look, I still might not be retired. If Tom Brady wants to call me back, I might come back. Bro, if you don't stay retired too, like, get out of here. Nah,
he has to.
I'm tired of y'all having the luxury of being able to come back whenever you want to. Get out the league, man. Stay out the league. Bring that nigga Tom with you, corny ass. Both of y'all get out of here.
I can't wait till the rematch next year. Patriots.
Oh my God. Oh yeah.
That match, JG's gonna be back.
Oh yeah. JG on Twitter gonna be ridiculous during that game.
Speaking of that, did we talk about that? Did we talk about the rule change now that they can?
Oh yeah, they had the fucking rule change. So the Saints were right, and JG was like, y'all were right. JG, what are your thoughts, man?
I mean,
how do you think this changed?
He cried for it. He cried for the rule change.
Man, this is a crazy rule change over, because not only could you, go against, or if there was a pass interference or not, you can even challenge if it could have been one, like like if no one said anything or whatever, and it was like non-call, it's like holy cow.
So the Saints were right, bro. The Saints were.
Not everybody liked this rule change apparently, but ended up being overruled. Majority vote. So.
Damn,
sucks,
bro. All that shit you were talking on Twitter, bro, and saying they were just complaining and crying, and they got it done.
But like I said, ultimately I agreed that it shouldn't even have gone to that point. It should have been a clear pass interference. Now they can review it, so it is what it is.
Man, what is the rule? Is it only 2 minutes and only the refs can do it, or how does it work? Because I mean that sounds like a lot of crazy. Because there's at least 6 times a game, I would think. At least watching football.
Oh, that's why everybody.
That's a pass interference.
That was a joke. That was.
They don't like it.
Yeah, that was a joke. That the fact is, it's gonna be the games are gonna be so much longer because of that. Oh, is
it only is it a stipulation where it can only be final quarter, few minutes of the game? Because I can't imagine that it's just start to finish. Anybody could just use a chance.
I'm looking it up right now. Give me a moment.
Because you're right about that. It'll be forever. Because like we said, because next thing you know, they're gonna be like, hey, well, that's a holding. And imagine all the non-holding calls that are called that are not called.
Right. So it's the new roughing the passer rule. Okay, so pretty much the way it is. So here's the aspect of it directly from the website. So pretty much a rushing defender is prohibited from committing such intimidating and punishing acts as stuffing a passer into the ground or unnecessarily wrestling or driving him down after the passer has thrown the ball, even if the rusher makes his initial contact with the passer within the one-step limitation provided for in a of the above, tackling a passer who is.
Well, that's just pass interference.
Yeah. But that means that it's gonna be hard to be able to penalize the difficulty of intent. They can penalize intent. Like, that's wild. Like that, bro. That's wild, bro. Like, that is. The passer rule, bro, that's wild.
I think,
bro.
like, it was the Bengals was the only team that voted against it.
Yeah, I think it was. New first rule is a win for everybody. Let me see what is
and not the passer, the receiver, bro, the receiver. That's gonna be roughing the like that's gonna be wild, bro.
So there's gonna be this. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
This rule the rule even goes to Hail Marys. So like the one that what's his face? Aaron Rodgers, he had a few of those kind of games.
Yeah.
So they're actually going to be looking at those players that are jumping and grabbing and pushing each other, stuff like that. That could be pass interference. I mean, it's going to change. It's going to change the game because that was always like the rule for a Hail Mary. The refs are going to turn a blind eye unless it's just blatant. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
now they're going to have to review it.
Nah, because I mean, it's again like you were saying at first. It's until the final 2 minutes.
So it's the replay rule. True,
so
like that's wild.
It's only near the last play of the game, so that won't matter then.
No, but it's still a big one though because the game-ending Hail Marys. If you're gonna it is booth review, but now they're gonna have to. I mean, I would imagine they have to review every Hail Mary because if the Hail Mary is just an incomplete pass and you see the ball batted down, normally that'll be at the end of the game, right? Mm-hmm. But if now you can say, hey, well, there could have been a pass interference there, right? So you have to review it because the people jumping up and down, or maybe somebody's grabbing or holding somebody in the end zone, preventing them from jumping. That'll be pass interference, right? So it's going to change. It's going to change Hail Mary's period, I would think.
Yeah,
I think every one of them has to be reviewed now.
Bro, that's gonna be wild, bro. The NFL is gonna, bro. There's so many changes and everything like that here with
We're gonna take another 10 minutes on the last to figure it out.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna be ridiculous, absolutely.
I think that's the biggest fear is that it's just gonna slow down the game to a crawl, and I hope that it doesn't, but I guess we'll see.
Pacing already slow as it is sometimes, bro, with all these other rules that they've already implemented from the past seasons and everything like that. Exactly. Man, this will be the 100th season. Wow. So, with that being,
Buffalo Wings would be happy though if it's longer.
Of course they will. Any pub or any type of bar area, anything like that. Of course, that means more business for them. Sorry, Papa John's. Anyways, going forward, I mean, Nhl Playoffs. Siggy, JG, you watching it at all? I know I'm not personally. I mean, I know the Knights are playing.
Not personally, huh? Remember JG? We were holding him accountable. He said that now that they made it in the finals, I'm gonna be following them all season.
No, I mean,
well,
I did follow them. I had to. I had no choice. I mean,
okay. So what are they in then?
They're the talk of the town right now. I'm talk of the town, talk of the city, talk of the town.
They lost tonight, though.
Yes, that's why I didn't want to bring it up. They lost, but we're still in it. But yeah, the NHL playoffs. Any teams in particular that you're looking forward to, JG?
I mean, Blues, obviously.
Okay.
Which we did win tonight.
That's nice.
I'm also paying attention to the Lightning, which blew a 3-0 lead.
That's
I don't know how the hell they did that.
That's wild to do in hockey.
Well. Yeah, but the Lightning was the best team, period, in the league this season.
Right. What about you, Siggy?
They faced the Blue Jackets, which should have been, they should have been a done deal. They were 3-0 in the first period, and all of a sudden I turn around and look, and they lost 4-3. So
that's wild, bro. They lost a 3-0 lead.
With that game. The Islanders won 4-3 in overtime.
That's what I'm going for, because my Rangers aren't in it, so I gotta go for the Islanders now. The other New York team.
Right.
That's what I was saying. I was like, what if the Islanders get somewhere this season?
Hey man,
like New York don't care. It's either gonna be Rangers or Islanders with them. So
they have no problem
to cheer for. So I mean, we'll see though, but I'm expecting the Lightning to definitely get past the first round. I don't know what happened tonight, but
they were the best team this year, right?
They had a hiccup. That's all it was.
Best overall team. So
this is their best chance, because that's like one of the most historic franchises that never won anything, right?
That's wild.
Lightning? Yeah. No, I'm talking about the Blues. I'm talking about St.
Louis. The Blues, yeah, we don't win shit, bro. we don't win anything.
I was talking about St. Louis, so yeah, you're right.
Oh yeah, we're one of the worst teams that fumbled the bag.
Oh man, that's terrible.
I think we got the farthest we've gotten in like years though last season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
so man,
we'll see.
Yeah, we will see, man. NHL playoffs, man. We'll definitely see and be on the lookout for that. We'll talk more about that another time during the podcast for the next episode. Appreciate you guys for rocking with us. I know it was a longer episode, but we haven't been around for over 3 weeks, so we had to kind of go in and talk about it. And let's be real, we got lost in the conversation about the NBA playoffs and the Magic Johnson and the Magic leaving and abandoning the Lakers and everything like that. I mean, it's like all
it's okay. You have to let it out.
Yeah. Look, bro, I mean, I'm prepared mentally for the 3 to 4 years of bullshit, even longer, bro. If we hit 10 years of not being in the playoffs, bro, I am going to be fucking disgusted, bro.
That's LeBron demanding a trade.
Yeah, all right. That shit would be wild. Like, I know JG would never do some shit like this. He wouldn't call me or anything like that, but I can guarantee you he will say some shit in the DMs. I'll wake up in the morning and be like, what the fuck? But bruh, man. But anyway, let's
Lakers without a superstar once again.
Bro, that did. Nah, man. Yeah, trade them to make them superstars, but whatever. It's all right, you guys, man. Appreciate everybody for rocking with us. This has been another Triple Threat Sports podcast. This was episode 65. Appreciate you guys. Shout out to all you guys in the YouTube comments, watching us and everything like that with this format. If you guys are interested in the format, those of you that are listening to us on all your favorite podcast platforms, be sure to check out the GI Updates YouTube page. Check out our format and let us know what you guys think. Shout out to everybody that will continue to support us. If you guys want to continue to support us as a whole, be sure to check out our Patreon. That is patreon.com/GI Updates. We have a whole bunch of awesome tiers so we can be able to participate in videos and also be a part of our GI Patreon Discord, where we play a whole bunch of awesome games with each other. We have a really dope community. Everybody, fans of whoever you are, the GI, come together and just be able to discuss different topics in the gaming community, sports, tech, anime, all of that. And shout out to all the other GI affiliated podcasts. There will be links to those down below in the description box for the YouTube video. So thank you guys so much. This has been Ace of All Trades, UTXJG Dadon, and Siggy Guns with the Game Illuminati, and we out of here. Stay enlightened.